So the cost of living food crisis and what nobody's talking about in Australia, that video has just exploded, and the amount of comments and the people that are so interested in this subject has absolutely blown me away. And I've got to yet go through, I've been answering them all and getting into them. And I want to cover food security even further, because the aging farmer, I've had some people attack me in the comments and say I'm full of BS, but there's lots of data out there if you do the research and just check it out. Now, the average farmer in Australia and the US, they vary from state to state a bit. It is around about 58. Now, 65 in Australia is the retiring age. And there is one surge in one state where there's younger farmers in Rhode Island, I believe, or something, after doing some research in America. I don't know what's going on there, but good on you, Rhode Island. You young guys coming through with about 10 years experience in the farming and agricultural industry, and hopefully they'll push it forward and bring some hope, and it'll create some models for around the world for us to look at down the line. Now, to get into it deeper even further, our own food security, we need to look at learning some of the old skills and reskilling ourselves. And that was something that was mentioned a lot in the comments in the actual video, the one I'm talking about. So, and there was a lot of thumbs up. So what I wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about a few different things, is re-educating yourself. And I mentioned in that video how there's so much information out there these days to re-educate yourself on this subject, to do with homesteading, growing food in small spaces, vegetable gardening. And if you don't have anywhere, any soil or anything, that you can take on different ways like hydroponics and different things like that. Now, a lot of people will go against hydroponics, but it has its place in some areas, I believe, for people that are really in tight urban places, and they can produce food at home that they can get on their own kitchen plate nice and quickly and not have to support something like the big two in Australia. And also you get that nutrition straight away because it's fresh. Now, a lot of food that we're getting in the supermarkets, a lot of lettuces and greens and cucumbers and tomatoes, it's all grown hydroponically anyway. So anyway, I don't want to get into that discussion too much, but what I'm trying to do is talk about food security. Like, I've got these beans growing here and some kangkong down the bottom. There's some tomatoes mixed in. You can see some raised beds at the back. I've got a food forest growing up the side. I've got chickens over there. We've got the Victory garden out the front and more vertical gardens. And I'm still building out this space as a place for people to get educated. We have extra surplus that we give away to people on the street that don't have any food at times. And also we sell it really cheaply to cover our costs here on this little place. So I call it a micro farm actually, because we do sell some eggs. You know, we have excess eggs and we sell them, and that covers our costs for our price. So we get free eggs and things like that. I have a little compost business, little sideline where I make compost out the front, sell to locals and things like that. And then we have this YouTube channel and talk about this type of thing. So I believe, as someone said in the comments, if you've made that comment, I can't remember the exact name because I've had hundreds of comments, that growing your own food and this knowledge is priceless. Now, a lot of us didn't actually get taught by our grandparents and parents and things like that, because a lot of that knowledge disappeared in a different revolution. And so, unfortunately, it didn't get passed on as much through the family. Now, if you got it passed on to you, congratulations to you. I'm totally stoked for you. My grandfather was into what I'm doing and had chickens, and like my mum always tells me, she grew up with chickens and having her growing vegetables and things like that. And they were so poor, they used to put cardboard in the end of their school shoes because there was holes in there so they could still go to school, and they couldn't afford the new shoes. So anyway, that's a whole different subject. But that information is so relevant these days. It's all over the internet, and we can access anything that we want to do. So what I recommend, if you're going to make that choice, is just start off slowly and expand out. Don't go in too fast gangbusters, because then you'll have to make lots more mistakes. So you want to make lots of little mistakes along the way, have some success, some failures, and learn, and just grow enough that you need. And then you may want to grow a little bit more so you can have some surplus maybe to sell or give away to family and friends. Now, I've had some close people that have been following the channel for a while, and they mentioned that they grow for 5 families on their property, which is absolutely amazing. And you knew how, you know, I'm getting tongue-tied there. You know who you are, my friend. And I think, yeah, hats off to you. That is absolutely brilliant. And there's a lot of people saying, yeah, they're growing all this amazing food and doing all these things. But there's also these other people that are very, very scared and very, very anxious and really tired of what's been going down. Because when you're walking into Woolies and you've got a little bit of money in your pocket, you're going, is this going to be enough? Because one of the comments actually that was really highly liked was, when I go shopping, I'm highly anxious about how much I can get with my dollars. You're walking in, it should be a good experience, right? You're walking in with your trolley and you're going, oh my, what can I get? I need to look around for all the specials. And you're creating this anxiety, which should be a good experience where you're going to get food for your family and friends, and even for the week shopping. Now, I'm going to bring something forward here that a lot of people are going to go, oh, this is just terrible. In Australia, our living standards have dropped down to the 1950s. Now, people are going to be saying, where's all the proof for this? Well, it's out there. If you just want to do your research and just Google in living standards for Australia. It was just mentioned on, I think, Channel 9 or something yesterday. I was watching a whole series on it, and about, you know, the cost of living and things like that. So we're talking 70 years ago, people were living much better and day to day than to that time, which is absolutely crazy. People are hurting in their hip pocket. The farmers are getting older. People are pulling out. They don't want to. And some of these problems are because of the big two. Now, I don't want to mention names. I don't get sued and things like that down the line or whatever. But they, if you look this up, guys, they actually do not contract most of their farmers, or nearly all of them. They bring them the supply and then they drop it off, and they may or may not get paid the amount that they want. Now, I'll tell you a little story about me when I first started managing an avocado farm. I was also, had to sell the avocados, right? And so the first time I did all the bug and pest stuff. It was a really bad farm. So we picked it up, took us a couple of years to get it going, so all the stink bugs were gone. And then we had our first harvest. We're really excited. We're like, yeah, let's go, Brisbane markets. Got in the truck, took it up to the Brisbane markets, had boxes and boxes of really good avocados. Get to the avocado supply. You know what he said to me? And this is a true story. He said, mate, he said, I've got that many avocados here. And I know it's a scam because it's what they're all doing. He goes, what I've got to do is I've got to sell all these ones first, and then I'll sell all your ones if I can. And if I do sell them, then we'll give you X, Y, Z worth of dollars. And I'm going to say that again. And I've gone, well, that ain't going to work. I ain't leaving all that work behind for a whim that they may or may not sell. So I packed up the truck again, drove all the way back from Brisbane to Bangalore where the farm was, and we set up a new plan, and we started distributing the avocados ourselves to small shops and grocery markets and things like that. So people are saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. I've actually been in the industry. I studied agriculture, agribusiness, and yeah, I know what's going down. And so what I want to do is really inspire you to consider growing food like I am here, fruit trees and beans and leafy greens and animals and things like that, and in your urban space, no matter where you are. Just start somewhere, get your fingers in the dirt. Even if you don't have any, go and buy bulk and learn how to can and things like that, and start working on your food security at your place. And I want to thank everyone that's commented, everyone that watched all my content recently, and God bless you all. I love you all. Remember, love thy neighbour, and we'll see you at the next video real soon. Bye for now.